off to the side there. Certainly dangerous conditions. Hopefully they get it under control, and hopefully here we get some rain too, because we're certainly experiencing some dry conditions where it can be dangerous if any sort of fire starts in our area too, Jackie.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, we're under that drought across much of the area, and not only that, we haven't really seen much rainfall this month. Really, the only day we've seen it was back on Sunday when we saw about 1/4 of an inch or less of rainfall. So today we should be seeing a little bit more than that across much of the region. But out there right now, we're starting off dry. So don't forget the rain gear, though. Just because it's dry out there right now, it's not going to be dry later on today. And especially for that evening commute, it's going to be a wet one out there. So the rain will fill in later this morning and right about midday. That's really when it starts to progress across the area. And could be a soaking rainfall at that, especially later on this evening after sunset. And we could start off with a little bit of that wintry mix back over towards Garrett County before it quickly changes over to rain. And then it's going to be rain for the rest of the area. Drier and warmer this weekend. We're talking about those 60s returning to the region. But let's talk about satellite and radar out there this morning. We have those clouds that have already filled in ahead of the rain that's back out towards our west. Now we have this high pressure off towards our north and east, and that really did eat away at some of that moisture, at least the leading edge of that moisture back out towards our west. That's why it's taken so long for some of this rain to push in. But now that high pressure is quickly dissipating, so all that dry air starting to work its way out. So some of this moisture will be able to get pushed in as that low continues to track its way closer towards our area. So in terms of the timing, as we look ahead towards 8 o'clock this morning, could start to notice some of those raindrops starting to fall back out towards our far western areas. Talking about the Shenandoah Valley, and then back over towards Garrett County, we do see a little bit pink on this map, indicating a little bit of that wintry mix. We do see those temperatures, especially those higher elevations, a little bit cooler. So you could see that rain-snow mix before it quickly changes over to rain. Then as we get ahead towards noon today, the leading edge of some of that light rain starting to push into the Beltway, the D.C. area, as well as southern Maryland, back out towards our far western areas where we've seen that light rain for much of the latter half of the morning. By about noon, that's when it starts to turn a bit more on the steady to heavy side. We do see some of the pockets of that yellow popping up on the map, even right around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So as those kids are heading home from school, we're still looking at that wet weather across the area. So again, make sure that those kids do have that rain gear for later on this afternoon and evening. By about 5 p.m., we still have that rain across the area. And 5 p.m., that's a little bit after sunset. So as we look at 6 and 7 p.m., that rain is continuing, and some of that rain could be steady to heavy at times still. So later on this evening, for that evening commute, expected to take longer than normal because you do want to take it more on the slower side, just because it will be tough to see any of those puddles or the ponding on some of those roadways, and also factor in the fact that those leaves are falling off the trees, and once those leaves turn wet on the ground, it becomes a bit more on the slick side than normal. Futurecast by 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, we're looking at those clouds still sticking around, but much of the rain is out of here. If anything, it's just lingering across southernmost parts of Maryland, and we're looking at those drier conditions prevailing for the latter half of your Friday, and then also the weekend is looking dry as well. So how much rain are we talking about with this system? This is beneficial rainfall at that. This is the latest update, now showing about 3/4 of an inch closer towards D.C. and about an inch farther out towards our westernmost areas. So again, that soaking rainfall that we will see, we do need it, and we will take it for the day today. Tomorrow looking drier after some morning showers, and then we're looking at a really fantastic weekend. Great for any of those outdoor plans you may have. Also great if you're thinking about putting up any of those holiday decorations outside. We're looking at highs low 60s Saturday, middle 60s Sunday. It could be just shy of 70 as we start off that next work week. Tosin's back, another check of those roadways. What are you seeing?